Today we're going to get into solving two-step equations with modeling. So we're going to be drawing some pictures today. Make sure that this is what you've put into your table of contents. I can solve two-step equations by using visual models. So it says solve for x in the following equation. If you notice here, I see a couple more things going on than what we've talked about in the last video. So what we're going to do, the first thing that we do is we get rid of anything that's adding or subtracting. This is saying p times x. And remember, we're trying to solve for x. We want everything else on the other side of the equal sign. X is the only thing that should stay on this side of the equal sign. P times x, that's not adding, plus q, that's adding. So I can do the inverse and subtract q from both sides. Remember, you must subtract from both sides. Minus 1 is 0, so the q's are gone on that side, and all that's left on this side is the r minus the q. R minus q. Now on this side, I need to bring down the p times the x. What's the opposite of multiplying times x? Or sorry, multiplying with x. It should be dividing. Remember, I want x to stay, so I'm only going to divide by the p. All right? So this is what my problem looks like. So x, I'm going to bring it up here, guys, so that you can see. The p divided by p is 1. So x by itself equals r minus q divided by p. Okay, so hopefully you see that. So first we got rid of the q and brought it over. Then we got rid of the p and brought it over. Now, I just want to make this look a little cleaner. Another way that you could write this is x equals r minus q, and instead of dividing by p, we could multiply by the inverse. What's the opposite of p? 1 over p. So instead of doing r minus q divided by p, it could also look as r minus q times 1 over p, because instead of dividing p, we're doing the opposite, which is multiplying by 1 over p. So we flipped the p and we got rid of the division and made it multiply. So let's draw some pictures and try for this one. 3x plus 4 equals 10. So I'm going to do some pictures here. So I have how many x's? I have 3 x's. So I'm going to draw 3 of these x's. I don't know what they are, but there are 3 of them because it's a variable. It's an unknown number. Then I have a positive 4. So I'm just going to do 4 of these. And each one is worth 1. Okay, now equals. So step 1 is to draw. What does the other side equal? The other side equals 10, and it's a positive, so I'm going to go ahead and use the same color here and make 10 positives. Okay, and I'll put a 1 in every one because each one is worth 1. Okay. Now, step 2, we're going to cancel. So let me draw my picture again. So I've got my 3 x's that I don't know what they are. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've got my 4 1s on this side. Now, how do I get my x's by themselves? The first thing I could do is get rid of these 1s. So the way to do that, oh, and let me do my other side also. I have 10 on this side. Okay, so the way to get rid of these and move them to the other side, I am going to do the opposite. So these are positive 1s. Well, the opposite would be negative 1s. So I'm going to get rid of all 4 of these, because what we know is a 1 and a negative 1 equals 0, 0, 0, 0. So those are gone. But remember, whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. So negative 1 -1, -1, and then my last one, -1. So I'm going to cancel that one, that one, that one, and that one. All that I'm left with on this side now are those. Okay, so let's draw a picture of what is left now. Because we've canceled out what we can. I still have the 3 x's on this side equals, and now I have, let's see, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 positive, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what's left. Now, to separate it and get rid of these x's, I need to figure out what 1x equals. Well, if you look here, 1x could be 2 of those 1's on the other side of the equal sign, and it makes perfect grouping. We've just divided because we divided 3x divided by 3 and moved it over. So what does each x equal? Each x equals 2, and it's a positive because they're my positive numbers. Remember, my negatives I did in oranges and I got rid of those. So let's see if we got it right. 3 times 2 instead of an x plus 4 equals 10. So let's see if we did this right. What's 3 times 2? We're doing PEMDAS. PEMDAS means we multiply first. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4 equals 10. What's 6 plus 4? Well, that's 10 equals 10. So yep, we did that one right. Okay, so let's look at the practice, and you guys are now going to try to do one on your own. So how many x's are you going to draw? How many negatives? And then on the other side, you're going to draw some negatives. Then in the second one, you're going to do the opposite of subtraction. You're going to do the inverse operation. Hopefully you remember, and whatever you do to this side, then you must do to the other side to cancel. And then you're going to try to circle and group them. Remember, this is 2 times x. So what's the inverse of multiplication? Hope you remember. All right, go ahead.